The days that followed Nnoma's sacrifice were full of tensions. Umuodo village, once lively with the chatter of women grinding yam and children playing, now sat in uneasy silence. The village elders met frequently, whispering among themselves, their faces clouded with fear. Ezine could not shake the feeling that something was wrong. She had felt the power of the golden tree in her dream, and she knew deep in her heart that the curse was not truly lifted. Ifeanyi the madman had spoken the truth. The battle was not over. One morning, Chika the hunter found something strange near the river. A small golden leaf that floated on the surface of the water, shining brightly. Even in the dim light of dawn, he reached for it, and the moment his fingers touched it, it burst into flames, leaving nothing but ash. Obinna, the youth leader, called a village meeting. The news of the golden leaf spread quickly, and panic began to grow. The elders had no answers, but Dibia Ukwu came forward, his face grim. He explains that the golden tree, the one Ezine had seen in her dream, was not a symbol of hope. It was a symbol of a deeper curse. The black tree and the golden tree are two halves of a whole. Dibia Ukwu said, when the black tree was destroyed, it caused the golden tree to grow. But this tree is not a gift. It is the key to something far more powerful. It was planted to protect the cause. Now it has begun to wake up. Ezine, Chika, and Obinna stared at him in shock. Dibia Ukwu continued, there is a spirit in the heart of the golden tree. It is a spirit older than Wankwe, a spirit of great power. Its name is Agba, spirit of war. And when Agba awakened, it will bring great destruction. Ezine stepped forward. How do we stop it? She asked, her voice filled with determination. She had already faced so much, and she was not about to let her village suffer again. Dibia Ukwu paused, his eyes dark. There is only one way to stop Agba. You must find the heartstone, a sacred stone hidden deep in the forest. It is said to contain the power to banish Agba forever, but the forest is guarded by spirits and many have tried to find the heartstone. More have returned. Without hesitation, Ezine nodded. I will go. The village was divided. Some believed Ezine was brave. Others believed it was too dangerous. Mama Nkechi was among those who believed the spirit had not truly been defeated. Ezine, you are brave, but the forest holds many secrets, she warned. Be careful. That night, Ezine, Chika, and Obinna gathered their things. They packed their bags with herbs, water, and food. Dibia Ukwu gave Ezine a charm to protect her on the journey. This will keep you safe from the spirits, he said, handing her a small bundle of leaves wrapped in clothes. They set out at dawn, the air thick with the smell of rain. The path leading to the forest was overgrown, the trees blocking out the sun. As they walked deeper into the forest, the sounds of the village faded, replaced by the pale whispers of the wind. Obinna held his machete tightly, his eyes screaming the trees for any sign of danger. Chika walked ahead, his senses sharp, but even he could not shake the feeling that they were being watched. Hours passed, and the forest grew darker, the shadows of the trees stretching long and deep. Suddenly, the group came upon a clearing. At the center of the clearing stood a massive twisted tree, its bark blackened and scorched, as if it has been struck by lightning. The air around the tree was heavy, charged with an unnatural energy. Ezine felt a chill run down her spine. As she approached it, she recognized it immediately, the black tree, the one she had seen in her dreams. But it was different now. The air around it felt like a storm waiting to break. As they neared the tree, a voice echoed in the air, soft at first, then growing louder. "You have come to seek the Heartstone," the voice said, its tone cold and murky. "But do you truly understand the cost of your journey?" Ezinne looked around, but there was no one in sight. The voice seems to be coming from all directions. She stood tall, refusing to show fear. "We understand the cost. We are prepared." The ground beneath their feet began to tremble. Chika gripped the spell tightly, while Obinna stood ready with his machete. From the darkness of the trees, shadows began to emerge. Spirit warriors, their bodies made of smoke and flame, their eyes glowing with a red light. Ezinne stepped forward, her heart pounding. She knew that they were not just facing Abba, the spirit of war. They were facing a warrior's trial, one that would test their courage and strength. As the spirit warriors surrounded them, a figure appeared at the edge of the clearing. A tall, dark figure, cloaked in shadows. Its eyes glowed like embers, and its voice was like the rumble of thunder. "You dare challenge me?" it said, its voice deep and powerful. Abba, the spirit of war, had awoken. His form was both human and shadow, his face obscured by a mask of flame. The air around him cracked with energy, and the forest seemed to bend to his will. "You are too late," Abba said. "The Heartstone is mine. No one can take it from me now." Ezinne raised her charm and stepped forward. "We will stop you. We have to," she said, her voice unwavering. The ground shook violently, and a massive storm began to form above them. The trees bent as if in fear, the wind howling like a beast. The warriors launched their weapons, drawn, but Ezinne and her companions stood still. "Get to the Heartstone," Chika shouted as the spirit warriors charged. He lunged at one, striking it with his spear, but the warrior melted into smoke before his eyes. Obinna fought with fierce anger and determination, hacking at the shadows with his machete. But Ezinne knew that the true battle lay ahead. She could see the glowing Heartstone through the storm, its light pulsing at the center of the clearing, guarded by Abba himself. With a final cry, Ezinne ran toward the Heartstone, her legs heavy but determined. The wind howled, the earth trembled, and the spirit fought against her every step. But she would not stop. Abba's form surged towards her, his hand reaching out to strike. But Ezinne, with a cry of defiance, threw the charm given to her by Dibia Ukwu into the air. The charm exploded in a burst of light, blinding Abba for a moment. Taking advantage of the moment, Ezinne seized the Heartstone, her hands shaking as its power surged through her. The moment she touched it, the storm ceased, and a wave of energy swept across the forest. The spirit warriors vanished, and Abba screamed in rage, his form flickering like a dying flame. "This is not the end," he shouted, his voice fading into the wind. Ezinne held the Heartstone tightly, her body glowing with the light of its power. She felt the presence of Abba retreating, and the forest began to return to peace. But she knew this victory was not permanent. The curse was powerful, and its darkness could one day return. Chika and Obinna reached her, both exhausted but relieved. Together, they made their way back to the village, knowing that the battle was far from over. When they returned to Umuodu, the villagers greeted them as heroes. But Ezinne could not see the unseen in their eyes. The curse had been pushed back for now, but the golden tree still stood, waiting, watching. And somewhere, deep in the forest, the spirit of war stirred again, ready for the day when it could rise once more. The villagers of Umuodu had celebrated the return of Ezinne, Chika, and Obinna with loud drums and joyous dances. But Ezine felt uneasy. The golden tree still stood tall and silent, presence heavy in the village. The curse had not truly been broken. It had only been delayed. Dibia Uku came to visit the next day, his face lined with worry. He had been meditating on the events in the forest. The hearthstone is only a temporary shield, he said, his voice low. The spirit of Abba may have been banished, but the true enemy is still hidden in the shadows. Ezine nodded. What is the true enemy, Dibia Uku? What are we really fighting? There is an ancient evil, the old man murmured, a spirit older than Abba, one that has led for centuries. It is known as Nchiya, the shadow of destruction. It was once born by powerful ancestors, but its prison is weakening. When the time is right, it will rise and bring darkness over the world. Ezine felt a cold chill in her heart. But why is it awakening now? Dibia Uku's eyes grew sad. The golden tree was not a mere symbol of hope. It was also a prison. The curse was tied in the tree. When Nwakwe's spirit was freed, it disturbed the balance, causing the tree to stir. The hearthstone has only showed Nchinya's return, but its prison is weakening, and one day it will break free. We have to stop it before that happens, Ezine said, determination lighting her eyes. How do we destroy the golden tree? Dibia Uku shook his head. You cannot destroy the tree, Ezine. The tree is part of the land, part of the village. Destroying it would cause the land to wither and die. We must find the source of the cause, the root of Nchinya's power. Ezine looked down at her hands, feeling the weight of the hearthstone's power. Where do we begin? There is an old temple, Dibia Uku said slowly, hidden deep in the forest. It is the place where the ancients sealed Nchinya's spirit. The key to his release lies there, but it's not an easy path. Many have tried to enter the temple. The next morning, Ezine, Chika, and Obina set out again. The forest felt different now, darker, more oppressive. The trees whispered secrets, and the wind carried voices that seemed to call their names. As they walked deeper into the forest, the air grew colder. A sense of dread hung in the atmosphere, thick and suffocating. The forest seems to close in around them. The trees growing closer together, their branches twisting like skeleton arms. Obina shivered, his eyes scanning the path ahead. This place is cursed, he whispered. We should turn back. We can't turn back, Ezine said firmly. The fate of the village is in our hands. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. The trees shook violently, their leaves rustling as if caught in a great wind. And then, the ground split open with a deafening crack, revealing a dark, swirling abyss. From the abyss emerged a figure, a tall, dark silhouette with glowing eyes. Nchinya, the shadow of destruction, had awoken. Its form was an ever-shifting mass of shadows, eyes glowing like molten gold. Air around it crackled with dark energy. The story is getting hotter and hotter by the day. Will Ezine and her friends succumb to defeat? Will Nchinya be able to defeat them? What about the golden tree? Let us find out what is going to happen. Watch out as we conclude the story in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so subscribe to my YouTube channel to be getting more fascinating and interesting story like this. And I will surely see you in my next one. Bye bye.